Morning! Had to get out a second time this week. Pushed the old luck. And the place I've come to today, you've seen me fish a few times before. In fact, the last time I was here, you see me have a rant about arseholes letting their dog shite everywhere. Well, the good news is, the place is now flooded. It's flooded. Where I was fishing the last time is about a foot deep now. So I've come across to another part of it. It's an old stone boat slip. I've got the 4 rods, I've got 3 rods in. I'm going to put a 4th rod in now. But first, let's get a cup of coffee on the go. And let's see how today goes, shall we? Roll that intro. That bleeping, it wasn't a run. It was a big fucking swan mussel. It was clamped onto the actual trace above the bait. That's the first. It fell off as I was winding in. I was going to show it to you. I was like, the hell's this big white thing stuck to my trace? So I just whacked that bait back out again. I have a smelt in the margins. I have an eel that way, and I have a big mackerel. It's just probably right about where you'd be standing on the jetty if the jetty wasn't under 2 feet of water. It's going to be a strange day because there I can see dark clouds and there I can see perfectly light skies. So it depends what way the wind comes. If the wind's coming from that direction, we're getting good weather. If it's coming up from there, then shit. And because I'm on a stone jetty, I can't exactly hammer in tent pegs for a bivvy. Oh well. Everything's better. I have a cup of coffee. I want to talk to you as well today about something very, very important. This is for all my Northern Irish and Republic of Ireland guys and anyone that comes here to fish. I'm going to put up a poster now in the video. That's Operation Silverfin. Do me a favour guys, save that. I'll put it up on my Facebook as well. If you guys can get a copy of that and put it onto your phones if you're across here and you come across the square head fish eating poachers, then phone that number. It's you'll have the PSNI or the Garda Síochána. It's got all the numbers you need, the places. It's got the bailiffs, the companies that run the different places like DERA, Locks Agency, Inland Fisheries Ireland, Waterways Ireland, all the different numbers. If you see poaching, if you see netting, if you see anything shady at all going on in the fishery, phone that number. Also goes the same if you see like pollution incidents. If you've come down to fish and some arsehole farmers dumped this tank of slurry in, get on the phone to those numbers, because the quicker we react to these things and the more of these incidents we report, then the more serious they're going to take angling in Northern Ireland and the south. So Operation Silverfin. By the way, Operation Silverfin is supported by groups like the Pike Angling Club of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It's supported by the Irish Pike Society, you know, the Ulster Angling Federation, although I give them a bit of a hard time for their attitudes. They actually are pushing this. When it comes to things like poaching and pollution, it ruins everything for everybody. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't help if it's some idiot that was out with a net, but hopefully that's going to change. Still waiting for the footage to come of the 5 fish in the bottom of the boat. The fella that showed me that video, he's having technical difficulties with his phone, so I'll send him another WhatsApp today and ask him to forward me the video. when I get it, I'm going to have to blur parts of it out. I can't show the guy's face. I can't show the registration of his boat, and I can't show the registration of his car. All three things are very visible in the videos. If I show any of them, then YouTube will delete my channel for harassment and bullying, so I have to be very careful. YouTube is definitely cracking down on wrongthink. You know, it's just the age of the day we live in, where we're being censored for everything. We can't have freedom of thought anymore. Don't know why. Well, we know why. The snowflakes are in charge. And we can't be upsetting the snowflakes by making them think in hurty wordies. There's a big cormorant. Actually, there's 4 cormorants in front of me. So that tells me that there's bait fish or shoalfish here.
I'm going to discuss my ledger links with you. This is this little ledger link. It's a 4-ounce lead. I'll just slide up this silicone. Right. The lead is attached by one of these, which is a 6-pound break-in strain thinking tackle lead clip, lead safety clip, or whatever they're called. Dead easy to use. Put it onto your swivel. This is just a normal little loop, and then you thread your silicone down on top of it, and if I pull just a gentle pull, you'll see it flex on there. It breaks at 6 pounds, so 6 pounds is more than enough to cast with, but if your leg gets stuck, then you can just pull and the lead will get left behind. The little C-clip will break or bend out, and you just pull the silicone down like that there. This here, this material is 50-pound braided leader, or shock leader, snag leader. It's made by Nash, but you can use armour cord or fox, armadillo, or whatever the. It's just a length of braid. It's not that long, it's only about 6 inches. So this will sit on the bottom, and this tiny little weight that's took off a fox ledger stem is just at the top. So this will clip onto your run ring. This pushes up over this, and this little stop knot just slides in behind it to keep it there. But as it's cast out, the lead's obviously on the bottom. This will keep the main line off the bottom a little bit. You know, it's just enough buoyancy to lift it off the ground to keep it away from zebra mussels. Because you're using a run ring that has the ceramic IE'd run rings, the Catfish Pro ones I use, they're quite heavy. So this just about balances it, so just about lifts it up. It's not super buoyant, it's just enough to keep it off the ground. Where we're fishing, you want to keep your main lines off the ground. Now, say the lead gets stuck, all you have to do is pull. There we go. That wasn't a big strong pull, so you're left with this in the bottom, and you'll get this back. Now, whether or not you get the C-clip's broken or stretched out, or sometimes they snap, sometimes they just open up. That one's fine. Now, if you wanted to loosen it even more, you could take a pair of scissors and just nip the end of it a little bit. But it's just enough to, any sort of tension at all will pull it out. Now, like I say, it's more than enough to cast with. This is a 4-ounce lead. I've cast 6-ounce leads using these, and it's more than enough, strong enough to cast it out with. And you don't tend to lose the leads unless the lead gets anchored in the river. Sometimes I just snip the swivel off and just go direct to there, and in fact I might just do that to this lead. I'm not sure why I kept the swivel on. I don't like these swivels, like the big eye swivels. I don't see the point in the big eye. I know they're for carp angling and blah blah blah, but when you're trying to push the silicone sleeve over that big eye, it can be just a bit of a pain in the ass when you've got cold wet hands. So there we go. That is my little ledger link, but I'm not using the 4 foot of mono or the 3 foot of mono with the knots in it. This is the sort of stuff I would use.
Just then.
We are in. Feels decent. This is on the whole mackerel. Wow. Come on, you silly thing. Right. They put the rod out of the way. Claps the net. And of course she's wound up the trace in the net. Fish, come on, for fuck's sake. Right. To get you unhooked. There's another hook. I don't even think it's hooked. Nope, not even hooked. Okay, there's some jaw damage here. Yeah, some jaw damage there. Damage to her there, and she's took a turd on my unhooking that. But yeah, we have caught. Come on, chill. Chill. There we go. Right, let's get you put back in, Sonny Jim. Nice and fat. That was on a whole mackerel. And there it goes. Not a blank!
We're off the mark. One fish. And I don't know what it was eating, but it shit all over the unhooking griddle and it was absolutely stinking. I had to throw buckets of water over the unhooking griddle. It was like beige jelly. Blech. So, some damage to the side of its face, but apart from that it was perfectly healthy, well fed. I took a whole mackerel that was ledgered hard on the bottom. So now I have thrown out a trout. And we are cooking with scobes using the Ridge Monkey. We are cooking a rustler's burger thing. I'm actually going to start doing some. I was actually thinking about it. People have asked me to do cooking stuff for the videos, and that's cool. I do have an idea about doing like cooking, like a decent, like how I would cook a curry or a chili con carne or like stuff like that. that you can then portion up. I would portion it up so that when you come fishing it's frozen and all you have to do is heat it up again. I mean, stuff like a good hot chicken curry, that's awesome. I mean, everyone likes a curry. Same as a chili con carne. I mean, stuff that's dead easy to make. You get yourself a kilo of mince and make yourself a good chili con carne. You know, that'll give you 4 portions of chili con carne. So that's 4 meals for 4 sessions fishing. You know, or you can change it up. You know, you can make yourself like stuff in the freezer, so it's, you can have chilies and curries and stuff. It's all stuff that's dead easy. I mean, the you get the packets of rice that you don't need to chuck in the microwave. Well, you wouldn't even need it for the microwave. Just open the packet of rice, chuck it in the pot with your curry or your chili, and that's it done. You know, heat it through, and you've got a crack-on meal. So I'm going to sit down and work out my recipes. I do have my own recipe for making chili con carne. That's something special. I nicknamed it 5 chili con carne because there's 5 different chilies in it. You know, it's a man's chili con carne. It's not something that you want to mess around with, because I put some Scotch bonnet in there. Not enough to blow the arsehole out of you, just enough to kind of wake you up. One of my friends keeps eating that stag stuff out of the tin, stag chili. Chili con carne, you don't put bell pepper in it. You put kidney beans, mince, tomato, onion, garlic, and then your different herbs and your different spices. Don't put bell peppers in it. You don't put green peppers in chili. Ugh, rotten. Horrible. I have a little robin sat on my rod here, and it's just kind of doing the rounds. I've nothing to feed it. I've no maggots or nothing like that with me, so it's just going to have to hop around and try and find something in the dirt. Always like seeing little robins. You know, they're the sort of wildlife that doesn't really mess with your gear or wreck your day like bloody herons do. With these, you know, the rustlers or the whatever ready-made burgers, they were like 4 for £3 or 4 for £2.50 or something in Tesco's. I'd wonder what's in them, because it can't be healthy, because they don't go out of date until like the end of February. This is the start of February now, so I'm wondering what sort of preservatives are in them that keeps them from going off for a whole month. But they're easy. They don't take no thinking. You just heat them through. Hey ho. But the most important thing is that we're off the mark today. So, woohoo! For some weird reason, the loch here is moving. But my friend that's further on down the system says it's dead still. So I have no idea what's happening at this part of the loch. But what can you do? Just carry on fishing. I'm fishing, it's like there's a tow. The further you cast out, the more tow. So I'm just kind of casting, not that far. Don't have to cast that far here. I have a nice trout on, a mackerel tail, a whole eel and a smelt. The smelt's popped up and very, very oiled. The eel, the mackerel tail and the trout are all hard in the bottom. So let's see what else happens today.
A few moments later.
That was a bit of a strange one. Drop arm goes down and then comes up again. So just watching it here. You can see little plucks on the line. Oh, there we go, there it's dropping again. There we go. Number 2 pike of the session. It feels alright actually. This one's on the trout, so I think it's just another wee jack. Here it comes. It's just a little jack. I have no idea what's tangled around my lead there. Doesn't look very appetizing, does it? Let's get it unhooked, shall we? Fuck knows what that is attached to my lead. That looks rotten. Looks like a big shit. Ugh. Right, let's get the spoil unhooked. Okay. Right, he's snagged himself in the gills here. This isn't. Let's get this gun done quickly. See, it's just hooked in the gills there, and the littlest hooks like that will make a lot of bleeding. So you want to get it unhooked as quick as possible. No fucking about with it, and get it back in the water. No fucking about, back in the water. And there he goes. Water is 6 degrees, and trust me, I can feel it. There we go, pike number 2 for the session. That was on a whole brown trout, one of the last of my trout. So let's get another bait out and see if we can get a third.
More moments later.
This one might be a double on a smelt. Right. Let's get this net out of here. Calm down, fish. Calm down. Calm down.
Right. Calm down. May as well talk Swahili, fish. Come on, calm down a wee bit. And this one's fucking licked its gills as well. There we go. Right. I'm going to put this one in the waistline and I'm going to wait. Let it recover for a wee bit. £13 10 ounces. £13 10 ounces, the first double for 2021. Right. £13 10 ounces. There she goes. Faster now. 3 pike, one of them a double. Today's not a bad session. So 3 fish today so far. The biggest being £13 10 ounces. Today's a good day. It always amazes me that the slightest little prick in their gills produces so much blood. That's why it's so important that you let them rest after you catch them. That fish there was in the unhook and sling for a couple of minutes just to get its bearings again, and you seen it swim off perfectly fine. It looks really bad catching fish, and just the slightest little bit of blood, because there's water, everything goes red dead quick. It looks really bad. You know, if it was a big fish and you want to take photographs, it looks awful. You know, and then you're going to get, you know, people giving you the abuse, you know, look at the shape of the fish, you've butchered it, blah blah blah. Unfortunately, this happens, you know. I've caught pike where other fish, like other bigger pike, have hit them. One of them in particular was hit across the stomach, and you could see into its you know, gut cavity. Now I had a choice. Do I release that fish that's obviously been, it looked like it was like second place in a fight with Freddy Krueger, and I unhooked it and released it, and it swam off. Now 4 years later, I caught a fish from the same lake, and it had the most horrific scars across its belly. So that was the same fish that 4 years ago it looked like it had been gutted. So they will recover, they will get better. With all angling, you have to show your catch some respect. You know, giving it time to recover, making sure it's upright in the water. These are all simple things that everyone can do. You know, the amount of times I've seen guys in boats catching small pike on lures and throwing them over the side for them to go belly up down the river. You know, that doesn't do anybody any good. It doesn't take 2 seconds to hold it by the tail, let it get its breath back, and away it will go. So, that was a popped up smelt. I had the little pop-up sticks with the little eye, and there was a length of rigging wire to hold it to the hook. So I've had pike on a pretty decent spread of bait today. Whole mackerel, trout and smelt. 2 on the bottom and 1 popped up. The smelt is basically just in the margins here. It isn't cast a million miles away. That direction, excuse me, there's a boat marina, there's a jetty. Loads of boats in there, been overwintered. So I just put it down towards that direction. From the deeper, that's only about 3 meters deep. So 9 feet in the old money. So not really deep. But because of the little smelt, I'll fill it full of oil and I'll, you know, make it as attractive as it can be. The pike that's coming up that direction will come up and they'll find it. Features, fish hug features. You know, the shoreline is a massive feature. As I'm talking to you right now, there are 2 cormorants working the bay in front of me, and they are pushing the fish towards this old stone jetty. The stone jetty is a massive feature. It kind of like it'll kind of corner the prey fish, like the shoalfish or roach or perch or whatever they are. I'm going to show you that video of the black plague that is cormorants now. There's one of the little fuckers. There's the second one. They're getting closer and closer and closer to my bait. Definitely not a fan of the old cormorant. They should be on the general license. Some could argue that because of overfishing in the ocean, the cormorants are coming inland. Well, that's not the freshwater angler's fault. That is a government that lacks the testicular fortitude to go to super trawlers around the British coast and say, "Oi, super trawler, do one." For the next 5 years, I don't think that's going to change. However, at the end of 5 years, when the Brexit transition's finished, I'm expecting all UK fishing waters to go back to UK fisheries, where they can be sustainably fished. Having every nation in Europe coming off the British Isles to fish the pants off the place isn't helping. The EU's doing some silly things. They've turned around and said that they won't allow shellfish from the UK to be imported into the EU. Well, okay. That just means that the UK gets to eat the finest seafood in the world. Because if we can't sell it to the Europeans, then we'll eat it ourselves. You better believe scallops and prawns and all the other seafood that we catch in the UK, this is top end. We're not talking shit scampi you get in like the Witherspoons. We're talking the finest fish you'll ever eat. It's important. It's actually really good for your diet. Say if you're an older person, fish oils, really good for your brain, for your mental health, really good for your heart as well. They've got all the right fats and all the right sort of acids in them. So don't be afraid to eat fish, people. I am having a really good day today. Really good day. It has just gone 20 past 3. We have probably an hour of daylight, maybe an hour and a half of daylight, and then it'll disappear. So I'll fish for another hour and a half, and then I will take the drive back to Palace de Scobie and enjoy some time with Mrs. Scobie before she goes to her work tonight. I said in my last vlog that Mrs. Scobie is getting cranky. Pregnancy will do that to you. We got her one of those pregnancy cushion things. It's like a big long U-shaped cushion, and it's helping her a lot. It's making her less cranky. I'm all for buying her shit that makes her less cranky. You know, if somebody out there says to me, here is a magic rock that will make your wife less cranky, then I'll fucking buy the magic rock to make my wife less cranky. She isn't normally cranky. It's just tired, pregnant. She said that she felt frumpy. I didn't know what the fuck frumpy meant. I had to go and look it up. And I probably shouldn't have used Urban Dictionary to look it up, but I went back to her and says, you're not frumpy. It's funny because for the longest time after we got married, you know, people would go up to her and ask her, are you pregnant? And she'd get really, really annoyed at this. And she'd be like, kind of, do people think I'm fat or something? It's like, no, it's just right or wrong. It's just something that, you know, people ask. You know, people ask women here after they've got married, you know, are you pregnant? When's the family started? And my own mum's the worst for this as well. You know, we had said to her after we got married, the next part of the life was buying a house and then start a family. And my mother was like, well, you could have a child in the flat. It's like, it's a fucking tiny flat. I could hold a cat by the tail, spin around, hit every single wall, the door and the window and the telly. That's how small the damn place was. So no. The plan was, let's get married, then get a house, then we could have a family. And we're kind of going to plan. That's another quality subject. I laugh my ass off when, you know, feminists talk about strong women. I'm a strong, independent woman. I grew up living with strong women. If you even dared answer back to my mum, you got your skull thumped. You know, same with my grannies. You crossed them at your peril. You'd have been doing the stingy everywhere dance from the wooden spoon wilts. You know, I grew up watching movies like Aliens with Sigourney Weaver. She fought the fucking aliens, for crying out loud. How much more of a strong female like role model do you want? And today's strong female role model is Brie Larson. Or Super Ray from the Star Wars dumpster fire. You know, what happened to movies? I used to love watching movies where you had to think. You know, you didn't just sit down and you could go, oh, well, here's the storyline. This'll happen, this'll happen, this'll happen. The end. I used to love movies. It's like modern life. I look at these people that are like the super regressive, wokey people. I look at them the same way I looked at the fucking crazy religious people in the 90s. These people that want to cram it down your throat. But it's been a good day. I'm not here to do any sort of ranting. The loch is perfectly flat calm at the minute. And I looked at the weather forecast today, and the weather forecast gave it to be wind and rain. And I didn't bring the bait boat with me. And if I had brought the bait boat with me, I could have bait boated out into the deep trench, you know, where it drops onto about 7 metres. But hey, live and learn, I guess. Also, I want you to do me a favour. This is quite a big favour. I know, I'm always asking. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then I want you to subscribe to the channel. You've obviously stuck this far through the video, and you've obviously enjoyed watching it, because you ain't put the thumbs down. So if you enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up. Click the wee subscribe button. I checked the statistics, and over 50% of all the viewers that watch my channel aren't subscribed. That's mad. That is absolutely crazy. Takes 2 minutes, doesn't cost you a penny, and it really helps me out. So if you could do me a solid and subscribe to the old channel, I'd be very appreciative. Thanks, guys.